And yeah, I didn't read much about the Stalker situation with Amouranth here. So as I understand it, it's the same guy from last time that we talked about. This fucking weirdo. This guy, he apparently sold everything he ever owned, even gave away his pets in order to be near Amouranth and watch her from a distance. And back a couple months ago, he tried to like break into her house, but security took care of him and they got a restraining order, which never really does anything ever because they don't take like stalking seriously. So the best that ever happens is like a restraining order. So apparently he came back this week. While I was on a boxing press conference Monday, my team notified me that my stalker from last year, the one from Estonia, was back and trying to break in again. He started by trying to sneak in behind one of my house staff, but had the door shut in his face. This guy also streams his entire journey of stalking Amouranth, or at least he used to, and he would dance around like naked and shit and send it to her. It was so fucking weird. He's very much like the Bjorn stalker, that guy who blew his brains out after sending an acid bomb to Bjorn. Like it's or Bjork, excuse me. It's fucking terrifying. Like this is an actual mentally unhinged individual. Wild how this isn't a crime slash him getting arrested. Yeah, we've talked about that. For some reason, in cases of stalking, they don't preemptively act, even when the person is clearly a danger to themselves and the person they're stalking. They have to wait until they do something. So, a very famous case, I think it was South Korea, it might have been Japan. There was a stalker that got reported by a pop star a million times. Literally like a million times. And all the authorities would do is note it, make note of it, say like, all right, you can't do that anymore, don't do that anymore, get away from them. And then fast forward like a couple months, and they ended up killing the celebrity and I believe even dismembering them. And it was just an entirely preventable tragedy because they had so many fucking reports. The guy was clearly deranged. Like he made active threats, showed up with like weapons if I remember correctly. I can think a knife. It's just they don't take it seriously, and it does happen quite a bit with the stalkers. So I don't know why there wouldn't be better protocol in place. This guy is clearly a danger. He sold everything he ever owned in order to move from Estonia to be near Amouranth and stalk her and like show up at her place trying to break in. That is all the red flags of a dangerous man looking to hurt somebody. That is not a mentally sound person. Yet nothing gets done about it. Sweet Anita had a very similar case where her stalker moved into the same neighborhood as her. No matter how many times she reported him, nothing happened. He showed up and, if I remember correctly, like shoved her down and showed up with a knife at some point. Still, they didn't like fully arrest him. I don't think they ever did either. It's so fucking backwards. Like, I understand it's hard to act on a crime that hasn't been committed yet, but stalking is a crime, just one that's not taken seriously, and there should be levels to it where it's like, this is stalking, but this person doesn't seem like they're going to be like a danger, maybe a restraining order is enough to get them away from the person. And then there's a case like this where the restraining order means absolutely nothing except toilet paper to this weirdo. Maybe we should do a little bit more, but they just don't. It's so bizarre. It's so weird. Left only to return 4 hours later, tried to get in again. Failing that, he paced back and forth at my front door for 20 minutes before leaving a package and a key. Police were notified since the restraining and trespass warrants had been breached, but per usual, it's a we have to wait and see what else he does, even though he has literally already broken the law given his coming back to my premises after a criminal trespass was issued. Nice. Man's out here thinking that he's, like with the Da Vinci Code, a package and a key. That's odd.